For all the Black Americans saying ICE isn't our problem, you do realize that they're kidnapping Black Americans too, right? And they're just saying, oh, we thought they were African. We thought they were illegal immigrants.
The lack of accountability and the gaslighting skills of white people needs to be studied as a whole, the same way that y'all decide y'all need to study Black Americans. Shut the fuck up. We have never not been the target. Let me say that again. We have never not been the target. Okay? We've always been the fucking target. Whether we sit down and shut the fuck up, we're the target. Whether we're out there in the streets, we're the target. So when we remove ourselves from the fucking equation, y'all can't fathom the fact that you can't blame nobody else. We told y'all. Y'all failed in open book tests. Figure it the fuck out. We know when it's time for us to go out there. Yeah, you got some people that saying, oh, that's just asinine for Black people not to. Hey, those Black people, like I said before, did not get that same collective whisper. Because this shit right here is top tier motherfucking gaslighting. Okay? This means that you don't even realize all you have to do is probably go back 1 or 2 generations to find somebody in your family that was racist and or watched a lynching. What are you doing within your community to stop this? Besides calling on other demographics to get out there and fight for something y'all fucking caused. Y'all have zero accountability. Zero. And I don't care who don't like me for saying Black people sit the fuck down till we know it's time to go out there. I don't give a fuck. I'm almost 40 years old. I'm not some 20-year-old child out here that think that, shit's sweet. I know what the fuck y'all gonna do us if we go out there. Right now, you only got a sprinkle of pepper in the salt. But the minute that whole container of black pepper go out there in the streets, that, my dear, that is when shit's gonna hit the fucking fan. Because y'all cannot come up with a movement on your own without being told what to do or using the blueprint of another demographic, specifically Black people. So again, our civil rights ain't even 100 years old. So miss me with the motherfucking bullshit.
What's up, good people? I hope that you are doing well wherever you're watching me from. Welcome back to yet another interesting episode. So I was just scrolling through TikTok and I came across this video of a white guy asking Black people. Now that Black people are saying that ICE is not their problem, do they know that ICE is also kidnapping Black people, claiming that they thought they were Africans, illegals, only to hold them in their detention centers, right? So I found this video interesting and I just wanted to share with you so that we can have a discussion about it, because I feel that someone is not taking accountability, someone is gaslighting, right? Yeah, so let's dive direct into the rest of the video and I'll be right back at the end so that we can have a real quick discussion about this episode. Thank you.
Americans saying ICE isn't our problem, you do realize that they're kidnapping Black Americans.
Yeah, that video is as insufferable as it sounds. Someone saying that Black people who want to sit it out, like, don't you know ICE is coming for Black people too? There are two things that happen during times of intense, social and political unrest in which this kind of violence escalates that happens. One is people want to lecture Black people on our own history. These are the same people who say, like, well, Dr. King, or, whatever happened in nonviolent protest. All these things, we know. We have grown up in our history. We have grown up steeped in our history. I'm not saying every single one of us, but the vast majority of us, we know. The second thing that happens is they like to place us in positions of danger that we're not even in. And I know, like, there are Black people being taken by ICE. I watch the news But the other thing is that they'll be like, imagine if that was a black person. Now, like, think about if they had taken 5 black people, what would happen? I'm like, we're not even there. People live off of, they get off of thinking about violence towards us, even when we're not in a situation. And so the black people I know are organizing. The black people I know care about what's happening. The black people I know have been talking about this their entire life. We just want you to leave us alone so that we can do what we've been doing. Because we're going to be in community with other non-black people who've been in community with us. But I can tell you from that video, you're not going to be one of them.
For all the black Americans saying ICE isn't our problem, you do realize that...
Nah, say psych. Say psych. Y'all can't be this stupid. You think you need to tell black people that that law enforcement has been kidnapping black people, as if that isn't a part of our history, right? And the reason why policing in this country actually exists is dependent upon them kidnapping black people. I, like every other black person, get so tired of you balangis coming on this app trying to lecture us about history that we have lived. We've lived this shit. We've warned you guys that this is something that will happen because we've lived this shit. You don't have to tell us anything because we know. We've always known because they've always been doing it to us. What planet do you guys live on? Because I'm confused as to what planet you live on. What reality must you live in where you feel you need to tell black people that law enforcement officials, that ICE, would also target black people? We know. That's what we told you guys would happen in the last election. We weren't just telling you guys that this would be something that other groups would experience. We knew that it would eventually get to us. But the problem is that a lot of them didn't believe it because they believed that their protest vote against black people would only impact black people until the consequences of that vote came knocking at their door. I really want y'all to shut the fuck up. Just shut up sometimes. Shut the fuck up.
Imagine propping up your phone as a white man to lecture black Americans on the treachery of the United States government as if we haven't experienced everything there is that they could throw at us. Your fear tactics don't work on us. Leave us alone. It's starting to get weird. It really is starting to get weird. This isn't our fight. And the reason that it isn't our fight is because that same system that abuses and neglects us is coddling these people so that they can come over here and replace our demographics with one that will be a lot more subservient to this democratic government. Leave us alone. And I can tell you don't know any black people. You know how I can tell? Because the example of a black person you use is a performative Somali American woman who's talking about eating bananas and rice.
I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like it's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American. But it's like a cultural fusion. It's kind of like the bananas and rice. You know, people don't really
talking about, bro.
see, like, you know, it's you know, people don't think, oh, you can eat bananas with rice, but that's what it's like to be Somali and American. It's like that combination of banana and rice, but you're gonna get what I mean. So
never in my 43, nearly 44 years on this planet as a black American man have I ever heard any black person talk about eating bananas and rice. That lady is not one of us, and that's the example that you use. Leave us the fuck alone.
For all the black Americans saying ICE isn't our problem, you do realize that they're kidnapping black Americans too, right? And they're just saying, oh, we thought they were African. We thought they were illegal immigrants. And then they will detain you for days, sometimes weeks, so that they can have their way with you in the ICE detention center while they figure out that you're an American citizen. In fact, that's exactly what happened to this lady right here. She's an American citizen. They detained her for 2 days and kept her in that detention center. And this is what they're doing with so many people. If you're not white, they will target you. If they just have a bad day, they just feel angry or feel extra racist that day, they'll target you, kidnap you, beat you, throw you in the back of a truck, and take you to some random ICE detention center There was one citizen that they actually deported to a whole nother country, and she was a US citizen. This is no longer about left versus right. This is no longer even political. It's just straight up racism against anybody who isn't white. If it was about them not working, then why is ICE showing up to their jobs to arrest them and deport them? If it was about them not paying taxes, then why is ICE using the IRS to find them? And if it was about them not being here legally, then why is ICE waiting for them at their court hearings where they are going to follow the legal proceedings of how to become a citizen here and how to be a legal resident here? It's never been about any of that. It's always been about race. Always. If you're not white, you are their target. Right-wingers, people who support ICE, are white, and they will never, ever admit that it's about race for them. They want anybody who isn't white to be beaten, kidnapped, deported. They want punishment. They want violence against anyone who isn't white. That is their goal.
Let me say this to black people, and I want to be very clear because, again, as he said, I agree with him on one thing. This is not a Democrat versus Republican, liberal versus conservative, even though you may see a whole lot of liberals out there protesting and spewing hate and propaganda on the internet. It's not. What it is this is not a racism issue. This is not a classism issue. This is an issue of people not following the law. And I don't care what they tell you. I do not care what they tell you. Do not, under any circumstances, start to fall for the propaganda and believe that illegal migrants that have come into this country, committed crimes, should be allowed to stay in this country illegally and not be deported, especially when so many people did it the right way. If it was important to do it the right way, then you would have done it the right way. You can't reverse Uno your way into doing things the right way. Now, a lot of people have gotten away with that, but it doesn't mean that it was right. And just because you was able to get away with it does not mean that we should continue to justify it. And what they want to do is they want to try to use black people as the poster child so that we can get involved like we have in so many other instances and stuff that does not involve us. And the reason why
We were first. We were first. Ballhead nigga. Like, yes, we were first. Like, here come the black people videos. Why y'all not doing this and why y'all not doing that? Why aren't you? Why didn't you? What did you do? Did you do your due diligence? Because we were first. We were first. We gonna always be first. We always at the top of somebody fuck you list. Basically. So, yeah. The answer's no. We'll come outside when it's time for us to come outside. And right now, it ain't time for us to be outside. It's time for y'all to be outside. Fight for your rights. Y'all finna go live in Christian hell. Fight for that. Y'all ain't gonna have no health care. Fight for that. They kicked us out of the WHO. Y'all go fight for that. Shit. The fuck? White people tired of fighting. I'm Chinese now. Chinese now.
Black Americans don't need a white man to tell us what state violence looks like, because we've been kidnapped, we've been caged, and we've been controlled since slavery, since the year of 1619. ICE isn't new. It's just another arm of the same capitalist system that uses police to terrorize people. And I don't reject the struggle, but I do reject the idea of Black Americans being pushed to the front lines on someone else's terms. Since rebellions against slavery, Black people have been used as troops for fights we didn't even control, and then abandoned once the moment passed. I mean, look back at the Civil War. Lincoln was losing the Civil War badly, and that's when he called on Black people for help to win the Civil War. And after the Civil War, he and the Republican Party and the Union abandoned Black people and let white racists in the South terrorize our communities with Jim Crow laws, lynchings, and bombings of our schools, churches, and homes, and they allowed them to assassinate our leaders. What I believe Black Americans should do right now is just start with political education. I mean, teach people how the system really works. Teach people how capitalism, police, ICE, prisons, and borders are all connected. Because an educated base lasts longer than a viral protest that you want. And then pass that knowledge to our families and use our voices. And black workers are everywhere. I mean, we could organize jobs, unions, and strikes because capital listens when the money stops flowing. You, white man, should organize your own community instead of policing black people, because white nationalists and capitalism created this mess. Who created this system? Because black folks didn't. The system has been the same since 1619. It hasn't changed, and it just evolved.
Welcome back, and I'm glad that you made it to this end. Now, I feel that there is a certain demographic that does not want to take accountability, that is only gaslighting, because this white man in this video is only telling black people about their history, because black people have never not been the target. For the longest period of time, black people have lived through this. This is what black people in the United States have been raised through. They have never not been the target, right? Because black people have protested, they have marched, they have been into the streets, they have done everything fighting for their rights, right? And they have been unalived, they have been kidnapped, they have been done like everything, right? And it has come to a time now that black people have decided to take a rest, and that's why up to now black people are not coming out in the streets protesting, marching, no matter what is happening in the United States at the moment, right? Because they know what they have been through, and they know that anytime they come out in the streets to demonstrate, to protest, to march, they know what is going to happen, right? Because each and every time black people come out in the streets to protest, the cops are there. And what are they doing to the black people? Unaliving them, kidnapping them, right? Harassing them. And I feel that now that black people have decided to go silent about whatever is happening in the United States at the moment, and white people in the United States are used to each and every time something comes out in the United States, black people are the first people to be in the front line protesting. And now that black people have gone silent about whatever is happening in the United States, white people, they don't know what to do. They don't want to take the accountability. They don't want to be at the front line, right? Because they are used to black people taking the accountability, black people always being at the front line protesting, right? So at the moment, black people have gone silent about it. Yes, they know what is happening in the United States at the moment, but they are taking a rest, minding their own business, right? Because black people know the playbook, and the playbook is that anytime they come out in the streets to protest, the cops are there to harass them, to unalive them, to kidnap them, right? So this white guy in this video saying that now that black people are saying that ICE is not their problem, ICE is also kidnapping black people. This is not something new to black people. This is what black people have been through for the longest period of time, right? Yeah, so I feel that the white people, it's only that they don't want to take accountability, because they are used to black people always being at the front line. But this time around, it's different because black people have gone silent. They have decided to take a rest. They have decided to mind their own business, right? Yeah, so guys, let me know what you think about this episode down in the comment section. And as usual, stay safe, stay blessed.